Here we are 10 years after we first recorded Finding Your Female Voice.
That was the first video we ever did, and we did it on this very sofa.
Wearing that very top. You mean you didn't become rich from Finding Your Female Voice?
No, I did not.
You know, 10 years ago, YouTube didn't exist. Easy means of getting video out on the web didn't exist. We put all this together, based on our own experiences with our own money as, we hope to reach out and help the community.
We hear from a lot of people whose voices were helped by this. It's been featured in an award-winning movie, Transgender. That was an unexpected surprise, and it's just really nice to know that it's making a difference.
If you want to watch Finding Your Female Voice offline, uninterrupted, you can get your own copy at genderlife.com.
We also still offer on a case-by-case basis one-on-one consultations via video conference.
If you want to do what I did, and that's improve your female speaking voice, you can even get one-on-one consults with Andrea via online video conferencing. Go to genderlife.com/consult to check for availability, or just get your own copy for uninterrupted offline viewing at genderlife.com.
Hi, this is a video on how to find your female voice. It's written primarily for male to female transsexuals who are interested in the option of stealth. But I think that it can have use for all sorts of other people in the gender community. So I'm offering this up as a little step-by-step instruction, and I'm excited that you're going to try this with me. I think that you may learn something. First off, I want to thank you for purchasing this. I'm really excited about this project. And second, I want to ask, please do not make copies of this. This is how I pay my rent, and this is how I subsidize my free websites for the community. Also, if you happen to be looking at a borrowed copy of this, I hope you'll consider sending along some money if you found this useful. I'll show an address at the end of this video where you can send some money, or you can donate electronically through my website, tsroadmap.com. There's two things that you're really going to need to do this. One is time. It's going to take some effort. You're not going to learn this by the end of this tape. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. It's like a musical instrument or a foreign language. You can't just pick it up and play perfectly. It's going to take practice, about an hour a day for a few months. But if you can set that aside, you're going to do really well. On the other side of that coin, when you're first starting, don't go crazy and overdo it, because it's very easy to strain your throat. You're using muscles in a way that you haven't before, so it's almost like running a marathon. You can't go out the first day and run an entire marathon. You have to work your way up to it. So if you're doing these exercises and you start to feel like your throat is getting sore, just take a rest, slow down for a little bit, and just work your way up. It'll just keep you, moving forward without having problems. The second thing that you need is a micro cassette recorder. These are really easy to find at most consumer electronics stores. I think I got this one at Radio Shack. It was pretty inexpensive. Try to get the kind that have an audible rewind that kind of goes, because that just allows you to hear where you are on your tape a little easier. The other thing that can be helpful is one with a counter, and if you think that you're going to be using it a lot, which I hope you will, you might consider getting a wall attachment, a little, I think 8 or 9 volt wall attachment, so that you can save batteries. Also, if you think you're going to be using one of these in your car, you should probably consider getting one of those lighter attachments that allows you to use it that way. If you do think for some reason you're going to need to use it with batteries, you might consider investing in some rechargeable batteries with a little recharger kit. I also want to talk about a couple of things you don't need. You do not need musical ability to do this, although it can be very helpful. We're actually going to go through a few musical sorts of things for those of you who may be able to get it more easily that way, but it's certainly not necessary. This is really about feel more than being able to sing or something like that. The other thing that you don't need is a lot of fancy diagnostic equipment. I know some people are really interested in finding out the frequency of their voice, or looking at it on a computer spectrogram. But that kind of stuff is not necessary. This is really something qualitative about your voice and not quantitative. So those things can be helpful. In fact, if you think that would be useful for you, I've got a couple of websites that you can look up for software that'll let you do that on your computer. The next thing I'm going to do, I kind of agonized over whether I was going to put on this video or not. I'm going to do some examples of where my voice used to be, because I think that it'll inform and inspire you and show you that you can do this too, because I started with a pretty masculine voice. None of this has been digitally altered. I can't prove that to you, but you got to take my word for it. This is all real. This is in camera. We haven't done anything to this. The first thing I'm going to try to do is a glissando from my current voice down through my range. So let me just get a big breath. As you can see, there's quite a range there.
Okay, I'm going to present several other voice samples, but I'm going to take the picture off because I don't really feel comfortable having my image associated with these sounds. But just to help you, here they are.
The next thing I want to try to do is my old voice. And this is something that's actually kind of difficult for me to do because it's been a while. And it sounds really strange to me now, and it feels even weirder. So let me give it a try.
This is the voice I used to use. It sounds really croaky and strange in my own head right now because it's been so long since I used it. The next thing I'm going to try to do is sort of this exaggeration of how deep my voice could be. This is Rockin' Johnny on WSRS Chicago.
As you can see, it's like it was a pretty masculine voice and pretty deep and pretty full, and I was able to get to this point. The last thing I want to show you is that once you have these muscles under your control and you understand what makes them move,
You can actually switch in the middle of a sentence
and then go back to your female voice, if you want to. Why would I want to, though? So that's sort of my range. That felt really weird, but I hope that this was helpful.